So good afternoon, guys. Welcome to Appalachia's Homestead. I'm going to drop off a quick video from this afternoon. I'm going to get my chores done a little bit early. We're celebrating some of our son's mixed birthdays tonight. I had one boy, his birthday is right at Valentine's Day, and then I had another boy. He was yesterday. So sometimes, depending on circumstances, it's easier for us to put birthday parties together. You know those cheats, Mom? I know. It wasn't supposed to happen like that, but we were sick couple weeks ago, so kind of pushed everything off. But welcome back to the channel. So I'm trying to get everything done because I'm determined to wash my hair. I may end up looking just like this at the birthday party because that's just what happens when you live this lifestyle. But I want to talk to you about a few quick things today, and I want to continue to urge you to continue to do the best that you can, number one, for you and your family, but especially in your own personal finances. And let me explain why. So check it out. Everything is starting to green up a little bit. It's a beautiful day here in East Tennessee. The rain comes back tomorrow. But at least we're not in a blizzard yet, right? So it's a beautiful day. So it's nice to get out and work and to do the best you can to keep your body moving. But here's what I want to talk to you about. Oh, by the way, go check your elderberries. If you live near or around me, elderberries, they're even greening up. Okay, so I don't know if you need to be doing any late pruning or anything of things. Y'all better be checking it out because things are going pop, pop, pop. So here's the deal. So I want to talk to you about this because I have urged people strongly over the last 2 to 3 years. I've mentioned it on older videos as well, but especially over the last 2 or 3 years, I have continued to tell people to do the best they can to become as debt-free as possible so that they could ease up the burden of their finances. Clearly now we are seeing that, well, that probably was decent advice to give people, and the reason being is because inflation, number one, and the cost of everything else that you can think of has gone up. Interest rates on your credit cards and all of these other things have gone up. So I want to continue to press this. I'm not letting up on it. You know, a year or two ago, I would from time to time be told by random idiots that I was stupid for telling you to become as debt-free as possible. We know these people are trolls, bots, opposition, demons, whatever you want to call it. It's all pretty much the same. And would talk about how silly that is, that if we're going to be going into a financial hard time or a financial collapse or an economic collapse in this country, what difference does it make? Okay, Hill, thanks. The difference is you don't know when that's going to exactly happen, and you don't know how slow that would happen. I personally think that we are on a slow, long game bleed out. Yeah, it's like, you're the rooster, and you just got hung upside down, and you just got this, and now you're just slowly draining out. So that has always been my concern, and that does seem to be the situation that we're in. That doesn't mean that something miraculous couldn't change overnight. I always pray for that. It doesn't mean that something catastrophic won't happen tonight either. You have to assume the possibility of both, and it's your responsibility as an adult to be prepared for that in all ways as much as possible. Now, the sad thing here is a lot of people now will say, well, it's too late. Maybe, maybe not. I really don't want to say, well, you should have listened, but because I don't think that's what you want to hear, and I don't think that's being a good cheerleader for you. But I'm going to say to you, please do everything that you can to make your life more manageable as much as you can, because folks, it ain't letting up. Okay? They want you to believe that things will let up because they want you to believe these narratives because it's an election year, okay? It's an election year. You're being duped on so many fronts. This crowd is smarter than that. So, I know that there's just a few out there that would argue against anything that I'm saying. But for the betterment of yourself, your family, your mind, your health, everything else around you, the better you are in terms of your finances, the closer you are in terms of trying your best to be debt-free, even if you can just ease up something. I mean, can you imagine you just getting rid of a car payment getting rid of a credit card payment every month, even if it's small, even if it's only $65 a month or $35 a month, that's more money back in your pocket to go towards something else, to save or to prepare. So that's the goal, because this is a slow bleed out. And even if something miraculous were to happen in November, which I'm bracing myself for, in terms of it not being miraculous, that we, you know, if things go a certain way, which a lot of you might agree with, I think the rug could be pulled thereafter. I just have different little theories I go along in my mind. You may not agree with that, but I'm just saying you have to prepare. Now, I always encourage people, first and foremost, to look at their finances, see if you can add more income to your family. I know you've heard me say it, and I know some of you are rolling your eyes at me, and some of you are going to say, I'm doing everything that I can. Well, I'm going to be the person to say, I hear you. Is there something that you can do a little bit more of? Try to find it, okay? If you're really in a pinch, try to find it. Try your best, okay? I'm not talking down to you. I'm not speaking with condescension. I'm speaking to you with love. I mean, I'm speaking generically to a lot of people, but I am saying, go back over it again. Let me explain something to you. So you all know the devastation that's going on in Texas, the fires. This crowd is aware of it. And you understand the devastation that this is doing. The last that I've seen in terms of numbers, there's bugs out here. The last that I've seen in terms of numbers, I have been reading that we're talking about over 150 head of cattle gone. That doesn't include the land, the devastation to the farms. Clearly, I'm not a large ranch, but I have a small farm. I understand the devastation of losing a dairy cow. I understand the situation in terms of raising these animals. Even as a small-scale farmer, I understand the cost. I understand the timeline. A lot of people, I say this with love, but some people don't understand the timeline. If I were to lose all 3 of my cows today, and my barn and everything, and I had to start from scratch, that is not something that people typically do overnight or even within a year, depending on the situation, okay? Clearly, we're talking about mass scale devastation, okay? So when you're looking at this from the perspective of an entire market, which would be meat. Is there a bug up here? I got these little gnats are out. You see them? They freak me out. Folks, this is not something in terms of what you could see in inflation just for this year, okay? That is something that could hurt our economy and our food supply, depending on how it flows, for several years. What I'm trying to tell you is, I don't care who you listen to, inflation is not letting up, because if our wonderful leaders continue to spend like they are, there's no letting up on that. That is going to continue to push inflation on you. Then you have massive scale devastation in agriculture. Please understand that when these cattle are lost, let's just say that the farmer didn't lose, he only lost the cattle, okay? So he has the setup. Well, he's going to have to replace the cattle. Then you're going to be looking at how long it's going to take for those cows to be bred and to reproduce. When she drops that calf on the ground, let's say it's a bull calf and it's turned into a steer, and then later on it's slaughtered for meat, how long do you think that takes? I know that when we've had steers in the past, or that when we have even purchased steers in the past to put in the freezer, guys, you're looking at 18 to 24 months is what we go for. Some people do a little bit less time, some people do a little bit more. But if you do an overall time scale, folks, you're talking about something that could devastate the meat market here. If it does, it could devastate, or, well, here's another problem. Not that I'm accusing these farmers of this, but you know how things go through the pipeline. People might take advantage of that as well. But you're talking about years, 2 to 3 years, okay? There is always a lag period with all of the things that we are seeing, okay? We've talked about the lag effect before. I'm not an expert on finances and the lag effect, but I'm smart enough to go, okay, yeah, if this is happening now, how long is it going to take down the pipeline to feel this? It might be 6 months, it might be a year, it could be 2 years. But in this particular case, it's going to be very difficult for any farmer that's not completely devastated to jump right back in and to do what he's doing. Okay? That's not including 1 million acres burned. That's not including all of the essential items needed in order to raise the cattle. You're talking about the fencing, the land, the structures. Folks, years. And some of these people might not, some of these farmers, Fritzy, might not want to get back in the game after. I can certainly understand that. So here's what I'm saying. This is not going to let up on you. Now, if we were to get some leadership into place again and take hold and try to start making instant changes, that would be great. I'm praying for that. But here we are again talking about something that could take years. They have put us so far down into the hole that we literally, you're looking at, I'm going to be honest with you, I think best case scenario, I think, and that's not including anything that we could see coming on the horizon here in this election year, I think we are going to be living a very devastating period, potentially up to the next 10 years, which is what they want. And that's not accounting for anything else happening. So here is where my initial advice comes into line. Please be doing everything that you can in your power. This has to be your top priority. Besides getting right with God, you have to make your financial situation and your preparedness situation your number one priority. It is not going to the beach, which I know most of you are going to go, I haven't had a vacation in 13 years. I'm like, me neither. My vacation is what you see right here. But my point is wherever you can cut something and save something and put it back into your property, paying off debt, paying off a car, continuing to rotate and prepare your pantry, please be doing so, okay? They are spending your money, my money. This government is spending money faster than they can blink, okay? And they're making puppets in a neverland who have no good intentions for you, multi-millionaires, which they are already. You know all of this. Talk to your spouse, talk to your children. I am hammering my children every single day. I am hammering everyone around me almost every single day. And they know, or they're like, we know. I'm like, I have to tell you, you have to put this on the forefront. Getting right with God, getting right with yourself. And in with that it does bear the responsibility of making good moral decisions and doing the best that you can in terms of your finances. I don't care what mistakes you've made in the past. No, that's done. It's not about what you've done. It's not about what bad decisions you've made. It's about what decision are you making today. That is the power that you have. Find it. Because I'm telling you right now, it's not going to stop. And we have a lot of individuals with a lot of bad intentions, particularly towards the good citizens of this country and of other countries. So sit down, make a cup of coffee, cup of tea, write things out, think things out. In terms of your meat supply, if you want to start stockpiling somewhat to put some things in the freezer or whatever, I don't blame you. That's a good move. I encourage that. If you need to take things out of your freezer that have been there 6 months or longer and you want to prolong that, perhaps you need to look into canning it. Maybe getting a pressure canner is a good move. Of course, if you are dealing with meat, you need to pressure can your meats, okay? I've got videos on that. There are videos everywhere on that. Or if you know somebody that has a freeze dryer, you want to prolong that, that would be a good move. The point, though, that I'm making here is if this goes full blown in terms of prices for meat, this is not something that this is just going to be another pinch for the next. No. People don't understand the timeline of this. And that doesn't mean that I'm talking down to those that have never thought about it. It's just maybe you've not been around it. I'm giving you the warning that I don't care what they're telling you. I just came home, and gas prices here in Southeast Tennessee, just over the past week and a half, we have jumped from $2.79 to $3.09. With all of the things going on around the world, and the closer we get to this election, the closer we get to summer, the hotter it's going to get. Please be preparing. Don't get stressed out. Make a plan. That's the first step. Again, what's done is done. What matters now is what are you going to do about it? You can do it. Like, subscribe, and share. I hope you're doing well today. Get out and get some fresh air. Walk the driveway. Move that body. Think things through. Pray. Drink some water. Drink some fresh tea. And then shake all the nasties off and make a plan. Guys, I love you. Like, subscribe, and share. Godspeed. God bless. Time to get to work. I'll see you on the next video.